All right, next fight on the main card, we got Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates, aka the chain smoker himself. All right, my prediction for this one, I'm going Leon Edwards by decision. I really think Prates struggles against guys like Ian Gary, for example, who we saw, is able to stay on the outside, stick and move, really technical striking. And I think Prates doesn't really throw a lot of combinations. He throws big single shots. And I think Leon Edwards is just too sharp, just too quick. And Leon Edwards is back against the wall, man. He's on a losing streak, and he really needs this one. And so I think Leon Edwards is going to fight safe, and he's going to fight smart, and he's going to get the decision win.
All right, so from my insight, I'm actually really excited for this fight. I think this is probably one of the most interesting fights on the main card. I'm going to start off by saying this is a win that both Carlos and Leon need. Carlos needs a win to move up in the division and get a title shot. For those of you fans that follow fighters closely, Carlos Prates publicly stated earlier this year that he wants to win the belt, rematch Ian Gary, who he previously lost to, and then retire. That's the timeline that he's looking forward to. A win over Leon Edwards will bring him closer, one step closer to this timeline. And then we have Leon Rocky Edwards, a very sound technical striker. Leon Edwards also needs this fight to also remind fans that he is still that guy. Give me Leon Edwards to beat Carlos Prates. So many fans are expecting Carlos to knock out Leon Edwards. Don't get me wrong. Carlos Prates is coming off momentum from a KO win against Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal is a fighter who has never been knocked out before in the UFC. In his fight with Ian Gary, in the later rounds, he was making a comeback but lost to a decision. For every single fighter before that, Neil Magny, Li Jiangling, Charles Radke, Trevin Giles, he has KO'd. Those are all impressive wins, don't get me wrong. And he's a fighting nerd, he has hype behind him. But there's no fucking way that Leon Edwards, someone who has fought the best of the best, loses to Carlos Prates, let alone gets knocked out. I'm rolling with Leon Edwards to get this done in Madison Square Garden. One last note before I hand it off to you, Brian. This fight is going to be a masterclass of striking. Leon Edwards finally has an opponent who is willing to strike. His last couple of opponents, he got wrestle-fucked, out-grappled. Carlos Prates is entering Leon Edwards' world now, and I think Leon wins. I also would not be surprised if Leon shoots a takedown or starts to grapple. In round 3 of his fight with Bilal Muhammad, at a certain point, for those of you guys who watched that fight, at a certain point, Leon starts to get the better exchanges in the grappling department. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts to level change with Carlos Prates. That's my take.
No, that's a good point, Toby. And I think, if you remember to the second Kamaru Usman fight, he did get dominated for most of that fight, but if you remember, I think the first round he ends up in mount, and I think that's the only round that he actually wins. So I think the wrestling edge also goes to Leon Edwards. If they do get tied up, I think Leon Edwards is not going to be afraid to take him down. And if he gets outstruck, I think Leon Edwards will also be willing to take him down too. So that's also a good point.
Yeah.
And in the words of his coach, don't let him bully you, son.
Don't let him bully you, son.
You need to pull this shit out the fire.
You gotta pull the out the fire.
Another thing that I'm kind of worried about within this fight, I hope Leon Edwards keeps up the volume because Carlos Prates is literally going to be nonstop all the way from rounds 1 to round 3. Leon, he's usually in 5-round fights, a little bit of a slow start, but he's got to go all in.
Yeah, I think that we'll know for sure. Carlos is probably going to be the one applying the pressure, and he's going to be doing that early. And I think Leon's going to start off backing down, fighting backwards. So unless he can find some good counter shots and, reverse that pressure, I think, Carlos is definitely going to be the one moving forward.
Okay, sounds good.